Well, have we got a treat for you? My fellow astrophysicist, Jane, is on the line right now.
Yes, of course, Steve. Your fellow astrophysicist. Exactly.
We have collaborated on many
Sure,
issues
yes.
of the stars. He could actually count the great Carl Sagan, the Cornell astrophysicist, as a friend. As I remembered, he first became interested in the stars at the age of 9. He knows where his Uranus is, and you know where yours is, and we now welcome to the program. It's been so long since I've talked to him. It's such a treat to have Neil deGrasse Tyson back, amongst other things, to talk about his new book. How are you, sir?
Thanks for having me. Good morning. Good morning.
Nice to have you back. It's been too long since we've spoken, and since we've spoken, I believe you've written another 30 books or so.
You don't call, you don't write, I'm around,
We should say there's a commonality with this show and your own life. Your daughter, I believe, is named Miranda, and our Miranda takes care of social and, make sure my meds are in order here on the show.
There it is. I wanted to name her, and did, after one of the moons of the planet Uranus. But my wife, who is highly literate, when I told her this, I said, "What do you think of naming her Miranda?" She said, "Oh, after the heroine in Shakespeare's The Tempest?" And I said, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Miranda, who did you think you were named after?
Oh, my mom was hopped up on drugs, and it rhymed with her name, so.
Oh, that's a whole other reason.
What a sweet story. What a sweet, lovely tale.
But yeah, the moon, it sounds beautiful.
It
I'll
does.
say that.
Yes, Jupiter's moons.
Yeah.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, your new book's called To Infinity Beyond, A Journey of Cosmic Discovery. As I always say, get 2 or 3 copies. You're careless, you'll lose one, and then you'll have backups. And you're not here to sign it, so I'm going to sign it for you as I do checks in your name as well. So we'll take care of that. But at any rate, there was some big black hole news. You've written about black holes. There was some big black hole news that came up in the last 24 hours. Are we all going to implode and be eaten by a black hole soon?
It depends on how close you wander towards it. Black holes they don't go after you.
Oh, they don't.
All right? They're just, if the sun became a black hole, we would still orbit just where we are. It would get very cold very quickly. Mm-hmm. But so people have this idea that a black hole is like T-Rex, and it just chases you to eat you. But they can both eat you in their own way. I think that's why kids love T-Rex and black holes, because they're scary, but they're also very interesting. So yeah, the advice is just to always avoid black holes.
But I picture it more as a Pac-Man thing, where it's chasing you around and probably with the same music and stuff. But is it true, the news that I'm seeing, that we have now found out that black holes are much closer to us than we thought?
Yeah, so with black holes, you don't really see them, right? Because unless they're eating something, and then they're very visible. Because what they're eating gets flayed and gives off a lot of radiant energy, and our telescopes can detect that. And so generally, the proximity of the black hole is what would put you in danger if you find one. And if there's an isolated black hole, it can distort the stars that come from behind it, the light from the stars. And then you can see this weird distortion in this darkness. And then you say, uh-oh, I'm about to be Pac-Man eaten by a black hole. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, but no, we're at a safe distance. But the press likes to make, to exaggerate, but because it makes clickbait. But we're okay. We have other things we should be worrying about right now than getting eaten by a black hole.
Yeah, there are a couple. To Infinity and Beyond is the book, A Journey of Cosmic Discovery. Jane?
Neil, it's so great to talk to you. I mean, so much fun. You really brought astrophysics down to earth, and you make it so much fun for all of us to learn from. But like when we look up into the sky, which I know you want us to do, and the other day we had a blue moon and a supermoon all mixed up in one. It wasn't blue. It was just big and beautiful. But then you want us to think about what's going on up there. And then you say, well, the sun isn't blue and it's not yellow.
Oh, yeah. So that's in the book. So first of all, a blue moon is just by convention the second full moon in a calendar month. There's nothing otherwise astronomical about it. And if you say that happens only once in a blue moon, well, that means once every 2.5 years. So that's more frequent than a presidential election or the Summer Olympics. And you don't say, rare presidential election come. So people like to think that when they see something in the sky, it's special, rare, and it's happening only in their lifetime. There's going to be an eclipse in a few weeks, and another eclipse a few months after that. There will be press saying, rare eclipse coming up. No, they're not rare. You want to think it's rare because you want to think the universe thinks you're special, right? It's a profound bias.
You're not special.
Since the dawn of civilization. That's right. So I just want, and the supermoon, don't get me started. Okay, it's not a perfect circle around the Earth. Sometimes a little closer, sometimes it's a little farther. It's an ellipse. Okay, that's the official word for it. Now, let me tell you how much bigger. Oh, so a supermoon is a full moon when the moon is closest. Okay, that's what they call a supermoon. Now watch. How much bigger is it than an average full moon? I'll tell you. If it's the same as a 16.5-inch pizza is to a 16-inch pizza.
Well, that's ridiculous. No wonder when we woke up that morning and we come into work at 4:30 in the morning. So no wonder when we came into work, we looked up at the moon and we thought, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
No, thank you. Unless you think 16.5 inches is super compared to 16 inches, but otherwise I think it's an abomination and an insult to Superman, Super Mario, Super Duper. All our other invocations of the word are embarrassed by this newcomer. That's all I'm saying.
Well, the fantastic nature of the universe, the galaxies, the great beyond. You know it and you appreciate it for what we should be appreciating. What excites you when you look at the heavens? When you think about your next 30 books, what excites you about the stars?
I only have a couple more books in me.
Yeah, sure.
Don't exaggerate.
Yeah, tell it to your publisher.
So,
yeah.
No, when I look up, the same thing excites me when I was 9 years old and I saw my first clear night sky. As a native New Yorker, it's in a planetarium. By the way, Chicago has the first planetarium ever in the world.
It's a great one, the Adler
Planetarium. Yeah, we followed you guys 5 years later here in New York, but that was my very first night sky. All right, when I saw that sky, what attracted me was not how much we know, but how much we have yet to discover. So to this day, when I look out into the night sky, I say, what is dark matter and dark energy, and how did it all begin, and what was around before the Big Bang? And are we asking the right questions? And better than that, are we smart enough to even know what question to ask? Those are the things that keep me awake at night.
I love that.
Your friend Dr. Sagan would be very proud.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Rest in peace.
Can you give us...
And I train everyone to say billions and
billions and billions of stars. Jane, what were you saying?
Well, I would just give us a little teaser on the book because we all love to watch the Hollywood blockbusters, but you found some bloopers in these blockbusters. Can you give us a little insight?
Yeah, I don't know. Blooper implies that it was something that the producer forgot or omitted or overlooked. Generally, I'd leave those alone because those are just mistakes. But there are other things that they should have gotten right and didn't. And when we talk about Gravity in the book, I mentioned the movie Gravity, okay, with Sandra Bullock and
Clooney,
the handsome man.
Yeah, Clooney. You're just
Clooney.
think of me, and you'll think Clooney. Go ahead.
Steve's twin.
So you're on the radio, dude. Okay.
Hey, don't start with me, Mr. Mustache. So you noticed in Gravity what?
So it's a movie called Gravity, but it really should have been called Zero Gravity, right? Because the whole movie takes place in orbit where there's zero G. But holding that aside, they got so much right in the film. Here's an interesting one. If you light a candle on Earth, and why does it keep burning? Because the hot air that it makes rises.
Right.
And it opens up a partial vacuum, oxygen comes in, and it keeps feeding it. They correctly showed in zero G, when a flame started, what happens is the flame exhausts all of the oxygen, but it doesn't know to rise.
Right.
So a flame will extinguish itself. They showed that. And this is brilliant. But if that's the case, how come Sandra Bullock's bangs always knew which way down was. I had an issue with that.
If you haven't learned anything from Neil deGrasse Tyson, you're not paying attention. I know you got to run, my friend. Congrats on the new book.
Thank you very much.
There you go. To Infinity
Neil.
and Beyond, a journey of cosmic discovery. And I got to tell you, Nikhil, during that interview, he wrote 3 more books.
I bet.
And he started a podcast called Star Talk.
That is really a podcast, right?
Yeah, that's really
the
his
network
podcast.
he's involved with? Yeah, yeah.